to commit, okay, with our class, meeting class every Tuesday. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So semuanya datang daripada Allah. Allah bagi kita kekuatan if we have good intentions. Kalau kita ada niat yang baik, insya-Allah akan niat dan usaha dan Allah akan support. Kalau tak ada niat, tak ada usaha, memang you akan oversleep this morning. Kan? Tapi kalau if you have set your intentions last night that you want to meet me, meet everybody, you have class tomorrow, then insya-Allah you can do it. Then Allah will always support you. Okay. So with the support from Allah, we manage to regularly meet every week. Kan? Every week, except the semester break lah. Alhamdulillah. So we will continue until last week, final week of the semester. Okay, so can you see my slide?
Yes, madam.
Okay, so today we will discuss the maxims about custom. Okay, something that we used to do, used to have, okay, in our place. Okay, which is al-ada muhakkamah. Okay, so basically the maqasid syariah, which is the objective of the syariah. What is syariah? What is syariah?
The rule.
Islamic law.
Islamic law. All the rules and regulations that coming from Allah. Okay, all the Islamic law actually consider the customs. Okay, consider our customs because Allah knows that we are different and others also different. Others at different place. At Mecca, for example, at Middle East, at UK, they have a different culture, they have different custom. And Allah recognize that custom. Allah recognize our customs. Okay, that's meant for, that is I think represented by this maxim, al-ada muhakkamah. Custom is an arbiter, meaning that custom can be considered to make a judgment, to make a judgment. Okay, so when we have case and our case is brought to the court, Islamic court lah, basically. So the judge must consider the custom, uruf. In Arabic we call uruf, the custom of the people at that place and at that time. Okay, so that we not feel macam kecewa lah sebab agama kita tak mengangkat ataupun tak consider our culture. So in this case, agama kita, Islam consider our culture. Okay, because it's already practiced very long time ago. And as long as that culture is not opposite to the Sharia, then insyaAllah, for sure, the custom should be considered. Okay. Okay, so the literal meanings of the maxim al-ada, because there are two words here, two Arabic words, al-ada and muhakkamah. Okay, al-ada, what is al-ada? In Malay we call adat. In Arabic we call ada. What is ada? Ada ya'udu. Ada is dia punya singular word. Ya'udu bukan plural. Ada ya'udu tu macam different concept, different bila dia word ni digunakan untuk different sentence. Ada ya'udu, to return, to come back. Ada tu maksudnya kembali. So adat tu maksudnya bila kita buat sesuatu adat tu, we go back to the previous practice by our nenek moyang, our parents, come back. It's keep repeating macam tu. So a custom is a practice that keeps coming back and keep repeating. So perkataan lain daripada ada, uruf, is uruf lah kalau konsep adat tu sendiri. So uruf from the verb arifa ya'rifu. Arifa kan yang arif. Kan? Yang dalam kod tu kita panggil yang arif kan? Arifa tu maksudnya mengetahui. Yang arif tu orang yang mengetahui lah tentang kes tu. Bila dia mengetahui yang arif, barulah dia mengadili. Jadi judge. Okay, sebab tu kita panggil yang arif. So from the word uruf, arifa ya'rifu, to know, recognize. Custom is a standard practice that is widely recognized. So uruf tu something that is recognized. What is recognized? Recognized is apa? Yang accepted, accepted by all, not by individu. One individual only. No, it is recognized by all. That is why it becomes a custom. So ada is more general than uruf. Ada is more general than uruf. So uruf is exclusively for custom of an entire society. Exclusive uruf tu. Exclusive for certain. Exclusive for custom of of entire society, maksudnya satu grup ni, satu grup apa uruf dia. Kalau in Malaysia, so our okay, in Malaysia adah is we eat rice. Uruf dia for each state there are specific meals that we eat. Okay, for every state. Example, in Kelantan different food, in Melaka different food, in KL different food. So uruf is more specific than adah. So ada for both social and customs and prohibit. Okay, so the adah that is talked about or presented by this Maxim is for both social custom and personal habit of individual. Oh, no. Okay, adah is, it can be adah for all. Okay, we call general, and ada for specific individual. Maksudnya sesuatu yang I think for individual we can call it as habit. So different kan, kalau sometimes people used to wear baju kurung. Okay, so setiap kelas pakai baju kurung. Tapi orang lain, ada individu, ada sister or brother, okay, suka pakai seluar slack. Okay, it can be for all and also for individual. It become habit lah. Okay, and for these maxims, basically is consider ada for general, for all. Okay, so the customs, the general custom is more concerned or is more important than individual custom. Okay, wait because I need to accept your friends. I think I receive. So make sure next time you come on time, okay, so that we will not disturb the class. Okay. Okay, so the second word is muhakkamah. Muhakkamah from the word hakama yuhakimu. To choose someone or something as an arbiter or judge. Okay, so the custom can be a matter of reference for a judgment. So when the judge want to make decision, he or she should refer to the customs as well. Okay, a part of other proof lah. So rules that take custom into considerations are subject to change. So custom may differ from people and place and time to another. Okay. So rules when apa nama dia, let's say mufti, they want to make a decisions on apa nama dia, Friday prayer, asyik Friday prayer je, rules on some things, and then when that one is refer to the custom or related to the custom, so that rules can be changed. Okay, so it's subject to the different people or place and times. Okay, Sama lah, when there is a case, the case happens in Perlis Utara and the case happens in KL. So when the judge wanted to consider as customs, when they want to make decisions, a judgment on the case that happened in Perlis, they cannot make the same decisions when the same case happens in KL because the customs is different. Okay? So the status of custom as a reference for resolutions of dispute or general or specific in the absence of specific Sharia provisions and do not contradict to the Quran and Sunnah. So that's the maxims bring about. So to resolve any disputes, general or specific, when there is no specific ayat Quran or hadith or ijma' ulama, decisions by the ulama on that matter. Okay, so adat, the custom can be referred. So functions of the maxims, interpreting unrestricted text. Nusus mutlaqah, unrestricted text, when the linguistic meaning is not precisely determined. Macam in surah Al-Baqarah Allah cakap wa ahallallahu al-bai' wa harrama riba. Kan Allah allow jual beli, buy and sell. But what types of buy and sell? Okay, what types of buy and sell did Allah allow? Okay, and Allah prohibit riba. Okay, so buy and sell here is general, isn't it? Okay, so when we reflect to the Islamic banking practice, previous times, maybe 10 years ago, no such of tawarruk, no such of tawarruk contract. Okay, but at that times BBA is practice. So the uruf in Malaysia, majority of Islamic bank practice BBA because of at that times BBA is considered not opposite to the Sharia. But when the times comes pass by, okay, so nowadays the scholars found out that there is something wrong with BBA. It's having elements of unfairness, elements of selling, buy and selling back. It is opposite to the real meaning of the buy and sell contract, and for sure it's opposite to the Sharia. So based on now, the custom is different, change in the practice in Islamic banks. So majority of Islamic bank practice tawarruk. Okay, that is also considered as one of the adat in the banking industry. Okay, so when the judge wanted to make decisions, the judge should consider nowadays BBA is no longer allowable. Is opposite to the Sharia and tawarruk is allowed. So the customs or the practice in the Islamic banking is also a change. Okay, over times. Jadi macam tu And then establishing Sharia rulings for issues that are not explicitly mentioned in the Sharia text. Sama lah kalau text tu is so general, so when that matter relate to the adah, okay, ataupun customs, so it may explain deep what actually the matters. So amending Sharia rulings, whenever the custom change, Sharia ruling should also change accordingly. So Islam not agama yang so rigid. So it should also respect our custom, some things that we used to do, we used to practice, and provided that it is not opposite to the Sharia, so it must be considered. So conditions to consider the custom. Inilah conditions dia. Custom yang macam mana is acceptable in the Sharia? What kinds of custom that is acceptable? Is it all custom is acceptable? Like we bring black chickens to the grave and then make dua, something like that. So anything is acceptable? No. Okay, the first one is custom should not be in conflict with the sacred text. Maksudnya tak opposite to the Quran and Sunnah. So in Al-Quran, Allah advise us not to menduakan atau mensyirikkan, kan inna syirka la zulmun alim, kan, orang yang mensyirikkan azabnya adalah pedih. So Allah tak suka kita mensyirikkan dia. So we cannot go opposite. That custom cannot opposed to the Quran and Sunnah, whatever that have been practiced by our Prophet. Okay, or definitive principles of the Sharia, justice, cooperation and benevolence. Okay, so the Islamic rules always uphold the justice, cooperations, all the good things. So the custom shouldn't bring any negative effect or bad effect to the people. Custom must be broadly prevalent and continuously operational in most cases. Maksudnya dia dah, semua orang dah recognize lah. Until now is been practiced. Okay, tak ada dah stop, dah no longer people rely on that. So cannot be. So custom should be existent at the beginning of actions. When we want to do it, the customs already exist. So cannot macam something yang baru kita cakap, inilah custom kita baru. No, it's not new. So the custom does not conflict with the contractual stipulation agreed to by the contracting parties. Okay, so yang ni maybe we refer to the banking contract. So any contract, any buy and sell agreement. So in the agreement, basically the bank and the customer already agrees on certain condition. Okay, it cannot just appear or just mentions by the customer or suggested by customer after they sign the agreement. Okay, so it cannot be like that lah. So everything when in the banking industry, when we sign the agreement, we are actually bound by that agreement. So any condition that's stipulated in the agreement, it is bind lah, okay, to both parties of the contract. Cannot be something yang tiba-tiba je customer kata I want to add a new conditions based on my custom. So cannot be lah, because they already signed the agreement. They already agreed to do that contract with the conditions that with certain condition. So the sources for these maxims in Surah Al-A'raf verse 199, Allah said, khuzil afwa wa'mur bil urfi wa'arid anil jahilin. Uruf kat sini ada perkataan uruf. Khuzil afwa wa'mur bil urf. Be tolerant and enjoin what is right. Right here is uruf lah. Pay no attention to foolish people. Okay. And then wal walidatu yurdi'na auladahunna aw hawlaini kamilaini liman arada an yutimma radha'ah wa 'alal mauludi lahu rizquhunna wa kiswatuhunna bil ma'ruf. Mothers suckle their children for 2 whole years. This is advice if they wish to complete the term and the father bear the cost of their food and clothing in a fair manner. No one should be burdened with more than they can bear. So this is advice mothers should, but if they wish, kalau let's say if the mother cannot breastfeed her baby within this term because of specific because of I think valid reason, so the father should bear the cost of their food. So the cost here ni Allah tak cakap pun nak bayar berapa cost of their food ni and clothing in a fair manner. It's very general kan. So cost of food ni based on the custom in Malaysia berapa, ataupun cost of formula milk, kan, cost of formula milk in Malaysia different with other countries. So like say satu tin tu RM80. So and then clothing ni pun sekali maksudnya bear all the living cost lah. Okay. So based on apa nama dia, based on the custom lah on that place, how much that the father should spend to pay to bear the living cost of to buy food and clothes for the mother and the children. Okay, so no one should be burdened with more than they can bear. Allah didn't mention that cost RM100, RM200 or RM500 the cost of their food. Because at the end of the ayah ni, no one should be burdened with more than they can bear. So belilah, tanggunglah, bayarlah whatever that you can. Okay, based on uruf lah macam ni. Okay, in the hadith from Aisyah radhiyallahu anha, okay, and Hindan bintu Utbah qalat ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, inna Aba Sufyan rajulun syahih wa laysa yu'tini ma yukfini wa waladi illa ma akhaztu minhu wa huwa la ya'lam. Faqala khuzi. Rasulullah cakap khuzi, ambillah ma yukfika, apa yang kamu nak, wa walidaka, untuk diri kamu dan untuk anak kamu, bil ma'ruf. Ma'ruf ni okay, maksudnya Hindun bin Utbah ni Aisyah cerita Hindun, sebab Aisyah kan apa nama dia, isteri Rasulullah. Hindun datang berjumpa Rasulullah. Hindun bin Utbah come to Rasulullah's house. Aisyah heard lah. And then Hindun ni dia complain ataupun dia report kepada Rasulullah. Ya Rasulullah, Abu Sufyan, husband dia, Abu Sufyan is a miser and he does not give me what is sufficient for me and my children. Seorang isteri cakap husband dia tak bertanggungjawab, dia tak cukup bagi dia sufficient for me and my children, untuk diri dia dan anak-anak. Can I take of his property without his knowledge? Boleh tak aku curi, ambil duit dalam poket ke kan? Then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, take what is sufficient for you. Ambil yang mana yang cukup, maksudnya mana yang enough je lah for you and your children. Okay, and the amount should be just and reasonable. Okay, so you can take out of his knowledge, but ambil mana yang ala kadar lah, apa yang cukup. If you want to spend RM10, ambil RM10. Don't take over than that. Okay, should be just and reasonable. Biasanya this hadis wife use untuk biasa untuk backup lah bila wife tu ambil duit suami kan. Tapi dia lupa yang kat ujung sekali tu. Okay, the next sentence advice from Rasulullah, ambil should be just and reasonable, bukan ambil semua, not to take everything. So apa yang tinggal untuk husband kan. Okay, so just and reasonable here, when we want to relate with these maxims, just and reasonable based on the custom lah. Kalau dekat KL maybe boleh ambil lebih sebab barang-barang mahal because of the living cost, expensive to buy things kan. But if we live maybe at Perlis, at Kedah, maybe the living cost is quite cheap. So just and reasonable here maybe only RM10 compared to RM50 those who live in KL. Okay, so based on the custom yang biasa ni, jangan ikut orang lain. Itu yang selalu pepatah cakap, ukur baju di badan sendiri. Okay, kalau our family can only afford to buy this, just buy it. If we can't afford, we shouldn't compare with whatever we have with others. Kalau we always compare, then everything will be always not enough. So susah nak bersyukur kat situ. Okay. So applications of these maxims. Okay, before we discuss on the applications, any questions regarding this maxim? Tak ada question. Everybody are here?
Yes, madam. Yes,
Takut
madam.
madam seorang je cakap ni. Okay, ada ya? Sebab it happen to other lecturer, my friends, dia dah bercakap dah. She gave lecture for 1.5 hour, non-stop kan, until end of the slide. But after that, she realised that the student is no longer there. She's alone, lecture. Give a lecture alone. Sebab dah disconnected. Okay, semua ada lagi ya?
Ada, madam.
Ada,
Ada ya?
Ada, madam.
ada.
Okay.
Ada, madam,
Takutlah
ada.
boleh cakap seorang-seorang. Okay. Apa je macam ni? Patutlah something wrong I tengok perkataan ni. Betul lah kan? Application. Betul. Apa jadi macam tu? Okay, applications of these maxims on the fiqh issues like rules on wudu. Rules on wudu ni. Okay. Rules on wudu. Apa? Anyone can explain? What's the points on this example? Rules on wudu on the custom. Maybe, okay, because to perform wudu we use water, kan? So in Malaysia, we always receive a water supply. Okay, so we used to use water to perform wudu. But for certain country that they have shortage of water supply, so basically they use apa nama dia, debu kan, dust debu tanah to perform the wudu. So it becomes their custom because no water, like in Somali ke kan, Somalia, in Africa, okay, wait, because they hard to find water. Ataupun kalau nak rules of wudu ni macam tak apa. Maybe I should find ada different tak on itu anggota yang wuduk tu, itu sunat dengan wajib, yang basuh telinga semua tu, it is not a custom kan. Maybe ada I think ada story behind this one wuduk I should find so because this one I think I took from textbook also. Okay, second example is reading kunut. According to Hanafi, it is not encouraged to read a kunut. Okay, based on the Hanafi scholars' opinion, it is bid'ah to read a kunut. Why bid'ah? Because reading kunut, doa kan, based on the school of thought, we actually when we prayer is already doa. Pray is a doa. Prayer is a doa. Kenapa kita nak baca? Why we want to recite doa in a doa? Kan? Yeah, because for them prayer is a doa, and then we read doa, meaning that we becomes not confident. Just like we are not sure with our prayer, then we read another doa in the prayer, which is reading kunut lah. And then based on Maliki Syafi'i, it is wajib to read the kunut. Kalau if we forgot to read kunut, we have to replace it, isn't it? Replace it with sujud sahwi. So because this is a wajib, so that's why we need to replace. If we do not replace with sujud sahwi, it's considered like our prayer is not complete. Because it is wajib based on Syafi'i. Okay. Ada deficient kat dalam solat tu. So Hambali is makruh je. Okay. Makruh. Makruh baca ke? Makruh reading kunut. So kalau if you go to I think dekat utara, Perlis, I think dia tak baca kunut. Dia tak baca doa kunut kat dalam when they pray subuh. Okay, so dia ikut Hanafi. So in I think the country also, in the state also, ataupun some other state, or some others, I think UAE also, certain imam they do not read a doa after prayer, kan? Lepas pray terus cabut. Terus tak ada doa. So individual doa. Why? Because the prayer itself is a doa. Okay, prayer itself is a doa, meaning that when they pray, they really pray because especially Surah Al-Fatihah, when we read Surah Al-Fatihah, it's like we are talking with our God. We berdoa, we wish for the right path, we wish to be, apa nama dia, dijauhkan daripada orang yang sesat, kan? So all the apa nama dia, bacaan ke dalam solat itu adalah doa. So why we want to recite doa after we make a doa, after we pray? So that is their opinions lah. Okay, but I think nothing wrong lah, kan? And then the third example is amount of household maintenance that is under husband responsibility. So this is I think very subjective. It depends on the individual. This one individual uruf lah. Kalau isteri nak minta husband kan duit nafkah. So based on the ability of the husband, and also when there is a case, court basically we refer to the custom, to the uruf, not I think dua lah, general custom, living cost at which place, and also the husband capability, whether the husband able to pay that such a cost or not. Okay, because different people have different ability, isn't it? Okay, so different maksudnya pocket lain-lain maksudnya. Okay. So court pun dia akan tengok husband ni kerja apa, gaji berapa, kenapa yang wife ni nak menuntut yang 3,000. Let's say the living cost in KL is 3,000, but the husband's only get 1,000 monthly salary. So how come how the husband wanted to fulfill the request from the wife? So it should be reasonable and fair to all parties, fair to the husbands. Okay, if husband only apa nama dia boleh bagi maybe 200 ringgit or 300 ringgit per month because of the salary, so the wife should accept it. Okay, okay, and then the next example is in the calculations of nisab to determine the amount of zakat. Okay, so what is nisab? What is nisab?
Children.
Nisab dengan haul. When we discuss about zakat, kena remember there are two terms that kena tahu. The normal term in zakat, nisab and haul. Haul berkenaan masa, nisab berkenaan jumlah, the figure, berapa banyak. Haul is berapa lama, how long the zakat should be calculated. Usually to calculate zakat, it is based on year, 1 year. The haul is 1 year. Kalau kita ada saving dekat bank, we save we make a saving on June, so next June we have to pay zakat. Cukup setahun bayar zakat. Kalau tak cukup setahun tak payah zakat, tak payah bayar. Let's say kita start saving bulan 6, bulan 12 tak perlu pun bayar zakat, walaupun semua orang bulan 12 tu masa untuk bayar zakat kan. Bukan macam tu. Okay, so bulan 6 next year baru wajib. Tapi kalau kita nak bayar early, tak kisah. It's okay if you want to pay earlier. Okay, so that takut terlupa when it reach 1 year. But the masa yang betul-betul kena bayar zakat when our saving, our wealth already enough, cukup setahun bayar, cukup setahun bayar, kira and bayar. And second term is nisab. Nisab is how much we should pay. So usually to calculate how much we should pay is basically equal to 85 grams of gold. So the value of gold, what's the value of gold? Depends on market value lah. Tak boleh lah nak based on any year kan, sebab gold punya value of gold is changing. Last year lain, last year 190 and then now it's 260 this year. Okay, bulan 3, bulan 4 hari tu dah 290. Dan sikit lagi RM300 sesatu gram. Okay, RM300 satu gram So nak kira cukup nisab ni, nisab is the maximum level minimum level of wealth that we have. Kalau we reach that the minimum level tu, kita dah ada dah nisab ni, maksudnya dia 85 gram, 85 grams of gold, usually around 15,000 or 16,000 based on the value of gold. Okay, so setiap state, every state in Malaysia will calculate their nisab amount. Sebab kita bayar zakat, we pay zakat at State Islamic Religious Council, Majlis Agama Islam Negeri. So setiap negeri. So if we live at KL, we pay Pusat Zakat Selangor. We live kat Selangor, Pusat Zakat Selangor. If we live in KL, we pay zakat at Jabatan Agama Islam Wilayah Persekutuan. Okay, so this every state ni dia akan keluarkan what is the amount of nisab for that state. So akan jadilah macam ada slightly different dia punya calculation ni. Okay, so it is based on the customs, how basically the Majlis Agama Islam calculate it, but they should calculate 85 grams of gold times with the value of gold at that time. Okay, so they akan announce, okay, this year nisab is 15,000 sharp genap. Maybe state dekat Perak, dia akan announce our nisab this year is 15,500. So people at that state should follow that amount of nisab to calculate how much they should pay zakat. Kalau dia dah total up all dia punya wealth is not reach the nisab level, so no need to pay zakat. Tapi kalau dia dah kira semua, total wealth yang dia ada 50k, value of nisab is 15,000. Okay, so the remaining is 35,000 to balance dia tu. Bukan 35,000 dia kena bayar, but only 2% out of the balance yang punya wealth after minimum punya level tu. 2% times with 35,000. So that is only the value of zakat that they should pay. Okay, so if to relate with this Maxim, it is how nisab, value of nisab is calculated based on the customs of that state. So setiap negeri ada dia punya different. Okay, because dalam perlembagaan Malaysia, hal-hal agama, all the religious matters not under the federal authority, bukan under government punya bidang kuasa. So any matters related to Islamic Islam atau religious matter, it should be under Majlis Agama Islam Negeri. So setiap negeri akan mentadbir hal-hal urusan agama Islam differently, but differently based on the syariah lah, bukan not opposite to the syariah. Faham tak? Okay. Kalau hal nikah, kahwin, rujuk, cerai pun setiap state ada dia punya court, Islamic court dia tu. So dia punya decision takkan sama. Ada certain decision sama, ada certain decision yang tak sama with other court dekat different state. Okay. Okay, so far clear?
Clear, madam.
Clear? Sebab zakat ni rukun, yes.
I have question.
Okay.
Contoh soalan, contohnya macam Hadi bukan nama sebenar kan. Contoh
Hmm.
dia berkahwin
Hmm.
dengan seorang yang kaya kan. Perempuan yang kaya. Kemudian
Hmm.
perempuan tu pada customnya dia dah biasa ada orang gaji.
Hmm.
Kemudian wajib tak pada si Hadi ni untuk menyediakan orang gaji berdasarkan custom si perempuan tu?
Okay, tak. Sebab Rasulullah kata based on ability. Kalau Hadi ni tak tak boleh nak sediakan orang gaji, so tak wajib lah, sebabnya itu yang dia mampu based on kemampuan. Tapi kalau perempuan, then isteri ni should understand. But if she refuse to have maid, orang gaji, maybe dia boleh ada tapi dia kena bayar sendirilah. Tapi husband ni tak wajib lah, sebab dia memang dah tak mampu nak sediakan orang gaji. So in this case, wife should understand. Should understand senang cakap poket suami macam mana. Sebelum kahwin pun dia kena kenal suami macam mana, gaji macam mana, dan after kahwin then she should admit, terimalah, sebab daripada awal sebelum kahwin dia dah tahu macam ni kan. Tapi dia maybe kes ni berlaku sebab maybe husband before kahwin tak berterus terang kan, ada penipuan kat situ ke, tu wife ni tak puas hati. Tapi Rasulullah advise kalau apa-apa sahaja yang wife minta kepada husband, based on should be fair enough to the husband, based on the husband punya capability. Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, so nanti kalau you nak cari calon ke apa, sebelum kahwin, kenal betul-betul your partner. Okay, kenal. Check, especially on the financial matters. Sebabnya kes perceraian ke, any problem dekat rumah tangga, biasanya melibatkan monetary. Sebab duit je, the financial matters. Okay, so sebelum kahwin, check your partner tu banyak hutang tak? Ada hutang ke tak? So macam mana dia manage dia punya financial matters? Boros ke tak? Okay, kalau banyak hutang, tolonglah. Okay, sebab nanti bila dah kahwin, kita pun akan termasuk dengan hutang dia sekali lah. Kan? Sometimes gaji cukup tapi hutang banyak. So all the salary go to pay all the debts. So nothing left for the wife. Okay, especially for men lah kan, sebab tanggungjawab suami. Okay? Any other question? Tak ada dah? Okay. We go to the example on the okay. Islamic finance example. The first one, Majlis Akad of Sale, which is online transaction. Okay. So in the buy and sell contract, we refer back to the pillars of buy and sell contract. Kena ada, the first one, ijab and kabul. Kan? Ijab and kabul. Second one, siapa yang nak berijab? The parties, the contractual parties, which is buyer and seller. Okay. And then the third one, apa yang nak dihijabkan? Subject matter. Barang tu kena ada subject matter. And lastly, dia nak ni, apa value the subject matter tu? Melibatkan duit kan, bukan subject matter. It is not a sadaqah sale, it is buy and sell contract. How much? So sale also, the price should also be determined, okay, in the buy and sell contract. Okay, in this example, and biasanya ijab and kabul akan buy and sell contract tu, ijab, offer and acceptance, biasanya perlu dibuat face to face. Nampak barangnya pun, nampak depan mata, the existence of the subject matter, it is compulsory. Existence, supaya subject matter tu clear lah, inilah subject matter yang nak dijual belikan. Kan, tak boleh lah, we cannot always, example kat dalam buku tu, we cannot sell bird in the sky, kan, fish in the river for example. Tak boleh lah nak cakap, okay, saya nak jualkan awak tu, nampak tu burung tengah terbang tu dekat tu. So burung tu still not our own. So the subject matter must be owned by the seller. Okay, and must exist. Inilah letak barang ni depan buyer, inilah barang yang saya nak jual kepada awak. It must be clear semua supaya no gharar element, uncertainty, uncertain element. So, but in our time now, especially during PKP, during COVID-19 this year, banyak online transaction kan, sebab we are not allowed or we are discouraged to go to the shop because of the virus kan. So semua online transaction, which is barang tu tak ada pun depan mata kita. Kita just nampak picture. And then the seller just cakap details on the subject matter. Warna apa, quality macam mana, and then we look at the review. Buyer yang lain kan yang dah beli, review dia macam mana. Okay, barang ni okay. Macam tu kan. So kalau kita nak stick with the traditional buy and sell contract tu, online transaction is prohibited lah. Sebab barangnya tak ada. Barangnya maybe some certain namanya goods tu kena order dulu. Barang tak ada dalam stok pun. Kan? Kena tunggu pula 1 bulan, 2-3 minggu kan. So ada element of uncertainty. Okay? And then okay, kenapa online transaction sekarang online transaction is allowed? Because of the norms. Sekarang ni disebabkan keadaan macam ni, and then the technology pun is okay, advancement on the technology, with maksudnya gambar pun akan diambil macam like slightly real gambar, and then online transfer duit tu pun dia takkan hilang ke mana-mana. Online system tu yang dijamin maksudnya betul kan. So disebabkan custom nowadays, and then this online transaction is not opposite to the Syariah. Okay, bukannya buy and sell liquor ataupun drug ke apa kan. So then it is allowed. Okay, based on the custom. Sekarang ni dah ada teknologi. Dulu tak ada teknologi. Kita kena jumpa buyer, seller tu kena bawa barang tu, kita tengok betul-betul baru kita boleh jalankan buy and sell contract tu. Tapi nowadays kita tengok ciri-ciri ni, kita tengok review people. So the elements of uncertainty tu dah berkurang. So it is allowed. Okay. So why Islam tetapkan these kinds of rules? Actually to ensure fairness, justice to everybody. Okay, for the sake of take care of property, kan? Take care of element of maqasid syariah tu kena jaga. Okay, kalau online transaction ni kita buat dan dia akan bring back effect kepada element of maqasid syariah, then it is prohibited. Okay, so buat online transaction tapi nak beli liquor. So liquor tu is totally prohibited in the Al-Quran. Kan? Innamal khamru wal maisir. Kan? So tak boleh lah. Okay. Walaupun maybe uruf dah jadi semua orang senang je nak beli liquor online je. Tapi that is opposite with the Sharia. Then it is prohibited. Okay. Okay, second one is various currency. Various currency. So it is custom. The transaction is now involved with even a banking and finance industry, involved with international trading. Kan, dia ada customer international. So the punya currency pun ikut custom. Let's say kalau kita kat Malaysia, we use ringgit Malaysia as currency, and this currency is acceptable by all. And then when we want to transact at international level, only dollar is used. So then it's okay lah. Maksudnya tak ada lah macam paksaan. Agama tak memaksa kita stick with one currency only. Because this is already custom in it, and it is acceptable by all, and it has been practiced long time ago. Okay lah. Okay. But buy and sell currency is prohibited. Okay. Like apa nama dia? You masuk currency trading tu. Forex kan? Forex, currency trading. So because the currency, the purpose of currency is mediums of transactions, medium of exchange, kan? So currency is used to exchange good with money. So not currency for buy and selling of currency. That's not the purpose of currency. That is why forex is prohibited, because people misuse the currency to make a money. They buy and sell because different value of the currency. Okay, so forex is totally prohibited. We make money out of the currency trading, cannot, because currency is meant for exchange of goods. Okay, medium of transaction for to change goods. Okay, so no harm to have different currency for different states as long as that currency is acceptable. But kalau kita nak perkenalkan, if you want to offer new currency, like nak guna kulit kerang ke, we go back to the ancient time kan, previous time, guna kulit kerang, kulit bawang ke kan. But bagi kita, that is maybe our personal opinion, our personal custom, we want to wait, we used to wait, kita nak guna tu. Tapi orang lain tak boleh nak terima, it is unacceptable by all. So it cannot be lah. That currency is not recognized. Sebab only kita yang recognize. We cannot use kulit bawang untuk beli buku, kulit bawang untuk beli makanan. Sebab people tak recognize that currency. So it cannot be a source of judgment for the court later on. Kalau ada macam ada case dengan jual beli, sekali court tengok, currency yang you guna is kulit bawang. Okay, not a real currency. So dia tak boleh nak tolong lah in the case. Memang kita fail. Okay. Okay, the third example is charging of fee for market practice. It is uruf tijari. What is uruf tijari? What is tijari? Uruf is custom. Tijari? What is tijari?
Business.
Sedengar. Ya?
Business.
Business. Tijari is business. Perniagaan. Okay. Business custom. Custom in a business lah. Biasanya dekat bank ni dia cakap lah uruf tijari. Sebab dah custom semua bank guna tawaruk, is uruf tijari lah. Uruf dalam perniagaan banking ni. So dia boleh lah guna, dah semua acceptable. Semua accept tawaruk. So dia orang guna. Dia dah uruf. Sebab dia kata uruf tu is recognized by Islam. So that is why no harm for them to adopt uruf. Similar with other banks. Okay, so in this case, charging of fee, okay, like say we want to open a deposit account at bank. So basically the bank will charge a fee. Maybe you just pay minimum. You want to open new account, you need to pay 10 ringgit to open the accounts. Okay. And then okay, so how the bank letak, macam mana how the bank consider 10 ringgit ataupun bayar apa-apalah, service fee 10 ringgit. Now, okay, 10 ringgit tu yang to open account tu untuk kita punya kan. Tapi but this one, if bank nak charge for any types of fee, service fee, annual fee, dia bagi satu amount je. Okay. Basically in Islam, if you want to charge a fee, that fee must be justifiable. Kita nak bagi service fee, nak charge service fee dekat restoran. So kita cakap this service fee is meant for the service that the staff give to you, serve your food, bring your drink, and then lap meja, untuk service-service-nya. Meaning that it is justifiable. Kalau nak details lagi, justifiable macam mana? Okay, satu meja customer, bila waiter comes and bring food, basically the waiter, the restaurant pay 1,000 ringgit per month. Okay, and then the waiter works for maybe 5 days per week, so 20 days. So divide 1,000 bagi 20 days, satu hari dapat berapa? Untuk fee untuk salary. Sebab restoran tu dia bayar salary for the waiter using the money lah, the profit that they receive from the customer kan. Nak justify lagi. Seorang waiter ni kerja dia serve food for how many tables? Satu hari 20 tables. So divide pula. 1,000, tadi 1,000 sebulan. Bagi 20 hari bekerja. 20 hari bekerja tu bahagi lagi satu meja berapa? 20 meja. So satu meja berapa yang dia dapat bila dia serve food. Kalau nak kira on to that details, it may bring difficulties or hard to the restaurant owner to charge how many service charge that they should impose. Okay, on that extent kalau dalam Islam, to be fair, sebab fee ni untuk bayar servis, so kira servis apa, berapa banyak yang restoran dah keluarkan duit salary tu untuk this waiter. Okay, tapi because of that difficulties, so it is allowed for them to charge us maybe in average, just using average. Sebab sekarang ni service fee dekat restoran maybe 6% kan. Service fee, government fee semua kan. Okay, 6% for serving. Okay, bagi percentage. So that is why all restaurant service fee between 3%, 6%, 3%, 6% based on the custom. Based on the practice, sama dengan bank. Dia nak impose annual fee for credit card, annual fee for debit card. Okay, how much fee? Kalau nak kira betul-betul, they should kira apa expenses yang digunakan untuk serve the customer. Like electricity pun nak kena kira, and then dia beli furnitures, dia punya ink, printer, and then salary dia pay to the teller kan, to the officer. So nak kira satu-satu macam tu. It's made hard for them. So based on uruf tijari, based on the custom dalam perniagaan bank, majority of the bank impose maybe 50 ringgit annual fee for credit cards. So it's okay lah. No harm for that. Okay, based on the uruf tijari, how they want to fix their fee. They want to charge a certain fee to the customer. Usually if they want to impose certain fee, the CEO of bank negara ask them to do a market review, market survey. Other banks, how much they fee? This bank, how much? So you take average. Majority of them impose 50 ringgit. So you should impose 50 ringgit. You shouldn't impose more than that or less than that. Okay, if you want to impose less, then okay lah. Okay lah for the customer, but you cannot impose double and triple. From 50 ringgit, you impose 500 ringgit. Okay, so tak boleh macam tu. Okay, so far, okay. Okay, and last example is BLR, base lending rate, uruf tijari and based on economic condition. Okay, so this one, base lending rate, it imposed to the financing products of the bank. Biasanya dia ada BLR lah. Bank negara will offer BLR. Sekarang ni BLR is reduced, decrease lah. Last time I think last year maybe 6%. Nowadays it becomes 2%, 3%. Because people don't have purchasing power ataupun financing power anymore. So bank nak meningkatkan, tak banyak customer yang datang, to attract the customer. So bank negara impose a minimal BLR so that customer will come. Okay, so this one based on uruf, based on the economic condition, based on keadaan sekarang ni macam mana. Okay, uruf tijari maksudnya bank negara akan tengok dekat other countries also, how they impose the BLR in their country. Okay, so that's all for this magazine. Any question? So far clear this magazine? Clear? Alhamdulillah. Okay. Madam, okay, kita ada 2 minit lagi untuk additional tazkirah. From additional tazkirah, anyone want to share? But before we leave, we end the meeting. Ada volunteer tak hari ni? Ha, duk menunggu je. Siapa nak volunteer hari ni? Kita nak madam panggil je. Madam panggil?
Panggil
Oh.
madam.
Panggil mentang-mentang you all boleh mute. Nanti madam ada tak function unmute semua orang? Kalau kat kelas tak boleh mute dah. Okay. Siapa yang tak nampak muka ni? Um, siapa yang dah left the meeting? Okay. Sekejap ya. Madam nak brothers lah. Izzat dah Izzat?
Apa dia madam? Saya.
Ha. Kita tak banyak brothers Macam ni dia dapat 4 orang je brothers ni.
Tazkirah madam.
Okay.
Kan? Okay. So what the tazkirah is basically about the, I mean like okay, for information, I'm at the Mahala for the past few weeks. I mean like since a month ago. And what I want to say is about the we need to, even though we are in this kind of situation, we need to bear in mind that our mental health is like very important to all, because I think everyone struggle with the mental health. So them said we need to do something like open our heart, open our mind, and get into something that beneficial to us, such every morning do the al-masturat and to perform solat every time the times come early. And I think I mean like for the Islamic perspective about the mental health is very important to protect our intellectual property. I mean like our brain, especially as the students, we need to more focus during the online classes. So yeah, I mean I like that part, because this we never faced before. We never faced this situation since a year ago, almost a year ago. So this is a very new norms for us.
Okay, thank you Izzat for your insight. So insightful. Yelah, memang I do agree. Mental health is very important. Okay, not only for the students, but for the lecturer also. Kan? Sebab lecturer pun nak kena adapt with these new norms. Lecturer lagi banyak kerja sebab nak kena prepare everything. So that it is clear. Previously, we just inform you in the class. But nowadays, nak kena inform dalam meeting and also inform in written. So that it reminds all. Kan? Nak kena record semua assignment, semua kena do it in the virtual classroom. Kan ada 2. Kat dalam meeting, online meeting and also in the Google Classroom kan. So everything need to be prepared. So mental health is very important. So make sure we keep closing with our God, Allah. Okay. So after this, we can pray duha baca satu dua ayat Al-Quran, tadabbur Al-Quran, tengok ayat Al-Quran tu semua untuk diri kita sendiri, bukan Allah cakap orang lain. Dia tak ada, ayat Al-Quran tu bukan mengumpat orang lain sebenarnya, untuk diri kita. Kita feel, we have to feel that. Okay, it's meant for us, even though ceritanya pada zaman Nabi Musa, ceritanya pada zaman Nabi Khidir, kita pasal musyrik, sebenarnya tu semua untuk kita. Sometimes dia ada dalam diri kita yang memang terkena. Okay, untuk individu, bukan general orang Islam tu, diri kita sendiri. So usually after class, madam, lepas kelas ni madam akan keluar. Tak duduk lama depan komputer ni, ambil angin, keluar bilik, keluar tengok pokok hijau, jalan-jalan. Okay, jalan-jalan. Do some exercises. Jangan duduk sahaja. It's not good. Okay, it's also for mental health. So jaga. So mental protection is one of the maqasid syariah. Kan? Itu amanah Allah kepada kita untuk jaga kita punya physical dan mental, supaya kita jadi a good Muslim at the end of the day. Okay, kena jaga tu. Bukan macam solat sahaja tanpa menjaga semua mental dengan physical tu. Okay, semua kena jaga. So insyaAllah. Okay, kita buat sama-sama, we keep reminding. Okay, among us, insyaAllah. Okay. So, okay, with that, we end our class today with Surah Al-As and Tasbih Kifara.